Bud kicks Kell Brooks' ass. Period. Straight up. Look here, Fight Fam. I'm gonna break down the whole fight for you, so just stay tuned.
Guess they forgot who I am and what I represent, what I stand for. It's the king for a fall, but I outshot them all. They ain't talking just material, I'm talking overall.
Showboating Sports, guys. It's your boy Scott Free, and I'm gonna go ahead and break down this fight for you and tell you how Bud Crawford is gonna kick Kell Brooks' ass. Period. So let's just get on into it. But before we do, hit the like, subscribe, and share button. Well, it ain't a share button, but hit the like, subscribe, and share. Hit the bell icon button so you have the notification. So when I do a new video, you'll know about it. But plus, keep sharing this channel, man. We going on to the top. Channel's getting hot. It's been hot, but it's getting looked at a little bit more and more. So we're going to keep it going. But anyway, Bud Crawford kicks Kell Brooks' ass. And let me tell you how it works. Let me break this down for you. Okay, look. When the fight first starts out, Kell Brooks is a bigger, stronger fighter. Supposedly, right? And the reason why I say supposedly is because, you know, turn this down. Because, you know, Kell Brooks has a lot more weight. And Bud is always saying that, you know, a lot of people take my size. They think I'm smaller when I really walk around a little heavier than what they think. I got a lot more strength and a lot more power. And it's also true. So to break the fight down, let's start off round one. Kell Brooks is going to do like he always does. He's going to come out. He's going to be aggressive. He's going to get all up on Bud. Bud is a slow starter, and we all know that. So, but Bud, I'm going to tell you what. This is the thing about Bud that you have to really understand about Bud. Bud is like Mayweather. He doesn't have a lot of power. He doesn't have that one-hitter-quitter power. He can't just come in there and boom, boom, and knock somebody straight out. It's not going to happen. Bud has never had that kind of power. But Bud has that Floyd Mayweather power where Bud can put you to sleep. But that technique that Bud has is crisp, is sharp, and that speed is power. So with that alone right there, that's going to keep Kell Brooks back. You know what I mean? Kell Brooks is going to be aggressive. Now, I'll tell you this. If it was the Kell Brooks before he fought Triple G, I'd say it'd be a lot closer fight. I still lean more towards Bud, but I'd say it'd be a lot stronger fight. I'm not saying Kell Brooks has totally lost it, because what helps him in this fight is because there's no rehydration clause. See, when he held the belt, there was a rehydration clause that you could only gain 10 pounds the day of the fight. So he had to worry about making weight again. And since he's a bigger fighter at 154, it was hard for him to get down to 147. So with this one, he's got to go sweat it out, lose a little bit of water weight, and it was not going to really affect him too much because he can rehydrate back. So he doesn't have to watch that the day of the fight. He can just eat, consume, and get his head back together. But he hasn't fought 147 since Earl Spence, right? And this is the thing. He is mentally, I feel mentally, he's a good fighter. He's a really good fighter. I think he's a little bit mentally a little lower than Bud. And the reason why I say this is because he has a loss. He's tasted 2 defeats. So that plays in your psyche a little bit. Bud doesn't see losing the fight. In Bud's head, he's convinced he can beat anybody. He's got that little chihuahua syndrome going on, and he's a really good skill fighter. Bud can switch up at any time. So back to what I was saying about the fight. Kell Brooks is going to come out first, second, third round. He's going to be really aggressive. Bud is going to have to change angles. He's got to keep switching up, and that's what Bud can do. Bud is not going to run. He's going to stand his ground, but Bud is going to hit him with some good, quick, cleaner shots. Bud is faster than Kell Brooks, so Bud is going to be quicker on the punch than Kell Brooks, right? So, plus, Crawford has too many, he's got too many different styles and different things that he can do in the ring. You know, he can switch. Now, Kell Brooks can switch too, but he can't switch as good as Bud. See, Bud can fight the whole fight, orthodox or southpaw. He's done that plenty of times. He's got a lot of power in either hand, so it doesn't put him at no odd thing. So as Kell Brooks starts coming across the ring, he's not going to step back. He's going to take angles. Bud is real good at angles. He's real good at finding timing. All he has to do in the first round is just get a couple of respect hits and punches in there, which he's going to get anyway, because Bud is a good counter puncher. Bud has enough strength, enough punching power to get that respect. He's always had that. And at 147, he's definitely got it. And then plus, Bud is going to be a little heavier too. See, what people don't understand is Bud walks around a lot heavier than what you thought he used to be. See, Bud used to make 135, 130. Now, when he was making 140, Bud wasn't just no little skinny guy. You saw that when him and Errol Spence stood up to each other. They both about the same height. Errol Spence is a little bit more mass because Earl walks around at 180 something. You know what I mean? Well, 170 something, 160, 170, high 60s, 170. And before the fight he had with Mikey Garcia, he said he was 180. With Sean Porter, he was higher. I think he was like 170, close to 180 then too. So he had a hard time making weight. So that's his walk around weight. So Bud is like really 160 something. You know what I mean? That's what he walks around as. I think it's low 160s or something like that. But anyway, for him to make 147, he'll blow back up the night of the fight. He'll be 150 something easy. So like I said, so you got Kell Brook coming out, first 3 rounds, adding pressure. Bud's going to put a little bit of stuff on him to hold him back a little bit. Around the 7th, 8th round, you'll start seeing Bud's conditioning is what's going to kind of show it. Not saying Kell Brook is not conditioned, but Bud always stays in shape. So it's natural for Bud to be in there. And plus, it's natural for Bud to always be in shape. And I haven't seen Bud get tired in any fight. I think that with Kell Brook bouncing up and down out of weight, not having his trainer, that's going to show after about the 7th, 8th round. And that's when Bud will start pulling away from the fight. I think the fight is going to go decision, and it's going to be a split decision. It's going to show on the cards that it's closer, but from the eye of watching the fight, it's not going to be that close. I think that they're going to be hoping that Kell Brook wins that fight because Bud's been talking about leaving Top Rank or whatever else, and you know how Top Rank is. You know how all these other companies are. But I don't know if Bud has in his contract. Some contracts are that when you I think either you fight for a belt or you defend your belt, it extends your contract. I don't know what kind of contract he has. I mean, I'm sure. But anyway, I think that Bud has to go in there and make sure that it does not go to the judges in a way where it can kind of be chance. You know what I mean? Because I don't think Bud is going to get a knockout. I really doubt that. But I think Bud is going to make it a good show to where it's a clear victory of Bud. Because Bud shows a lot of people he outclasses them. And he's going to outclass Kell Brook. Because Kell Brook's done been through a lot of wars. And I think mentally Kell Brook doesn't have it 100% up here with believing it. I think Bud is totally convinced. And Bud, when you really think about it, Bud has that eye of the tiger, that killer instinct. A lot of fighters don't have that. You know, Keith Thurman had that a little bit, but I think Keith Thurman kind of backed off of that. You know, once you start making money, you start relaxing back. Errol Spence definitely has it. He has that killer instinct. So Bud is going to come in, and Bud is going to get his respect. Bud is going to get the timing right. All Bud has to do is just try not to make it a slugfest. Because, see, Bud will get in his feelings, get in his pride a little bit, and he'll put his chin out there a little more. He'll do that. I think if Bud fights smart, which I'm thinking he will, Bud is going to fight smart and box. He's not going to get in there and brawl because he can't brawl with Kell Brooks. I don't think that he has enough power, enough stamina after, you know, because once you start putting in them good heavy punches, it works on you a little bit, you know. So I think he'll trade a little bit with Kell, but I think he'll be smart enough to know when to back off, conserve his energy, let Kell Brook waste some of his energy in some of those exchanges. And I don't think Terrence Crawford's going to slow down the whole time. And as a matter of fact, towards the end of the fight, as Kell is starting to get a little tired, get a little wore out, Terrence is going to keep bringing it on. Terrence is going to break him down. After about 7th, 8th round, 9th round, he's definitely breaking them down. 10th, 11th, 12th round, it's all going to be Bud. Kell Brook will have a little bit in there, but you'll start seeing the exhaustion and stuff on his face. But that's straight up, guys, no chaser. So tell me what you think in my comment section. Do you think Bud will win? And how do you think he'll win? Or do you think Kell Brook will win? And how do you think Kell Brook is going to be the victor in this fight? So either way, guys, like I said, until next time, like, subscribe, and share, and I'm out.